yourself. Well, country love and mercy more than life. America, America, make God thy gold refine, till all success be nobleness, and every gain divine. And you know, when I was in school, we used to sing it something like this. Listen here. Oh, beauty God, far spacious skies, far amber waves of grain, far purple mountain majesties. The fruited plain. But now wait a minute. I'm talking about America, sweet America. You know, God done shed his grace on thee. He found that good. Yes, he did. Every brotherhood from sea to shining sea. You know, I wish I had somebody to help me sing this. America, I love you, America. You see, my God, he done shed his grace on thee. You ought to love him for it, 'cause he found that good. He told me he would. Every brotherhood from sea to shining sea. I thank you, Lord. I got it.
All right. Good evening. Welcome in. Happy Thursday. Today is what, August the 6th?
September 6th.
Excuse me. I lost a month somewhere. September 6th, 2012. You're listening to Knowledge is Power. Tonight's Thursday night. I'm Richard Finley. I'm your host. I'm in with the great Curtis Bell. Curtis, how are you this evening?
All's well.
All's well. There's a lot to be said for all being well.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, welcome in. We're still in the county of Jefferson. We're still faced with the things that we're faced with. We've got to learn a new trick, according to President Carrington. We just can't be a one-trick pony. We've got to have two tricks or three tricks or whatever. But anyway, welcome in, and as usual, I want to say to all of our regular listeners who are out in traffic, be careful. We certainly want you to arrive home safely to your loved ones, and we don't want you to miss any of the program. So put the cell phone down. You can turn the radio up and listen to Knowledge is Power as you complete your commute home. Those of you who are already home, if the family is gathering, we certainly encourage you to encourage the children to listen to Knowledge is Power. We try to be informative. We try to be educational. We hope that our young people are concerned about their future and the future of their community, so that not only will they listen, but sometimes maybe even be moved to participate in our town hall meeting, or what we like to call Birmingham's premier town hall meeting. Always know that knowledge is power is brought to you by the Committee to Develop Birmingham. Committee meets on the third Saturday of every month from 9 until 11 here in beautiful downtown Five Points West at the Five Points West Library. So one of these Saturday mornings, before the game starts, why don't you give some consideration to your community and your surroundings and your children's future and decide that you're going to get up off of your duff and go meet with the committee to see what you can contribute toward our efforts to make Birmingham a better place to live. Always know that he who gives you the diameter of your knowledge prescribes the circumference of your activity. Let me do that again. I was in such a rush I ran right over that. But he who gives you the diameter of your knowledge prescribes the circumference of your activity. So, he who educates you pretty much knows how far you're going to go with that education. That's why we encourage you to self-educate as much as possible so that no one controls the circumference of your activity. And just maybe every now and then you'll get out of the box and do something unscripted and something for yourself. Also, we're going to, at some point in the very near future, do a complete town hall meeting and discussion on education, the public education system, the methods, the approach, the curriculum, particularly as it relates to you, the great-great-great-grandchildren of former slaves, because we understand that if the former slave master is the architect of your education, if a man will not treat you right, then you have no reason to believe that he will teach you right. So that becomes our responsibility. Some of our greatest intellectuals, some of our greatest orators were self-educated freed slaves. So there is something to be said for self-education or us educating our own, because we have some major questions about going through the government-controlled education system and continuing to be slaves. How much control do you have over your life? How much control do you have over where you live? If none, why not? If you are educated, what are you producing that proves you are an educated person? If you are not productive, you're not educated. Some things to think about as we get into our program for today. For those of you who are en route or not to the town hall meeting at the Agape Church in East Birmingham tonight, then I hope you plan to attend the future meetings. We are in a battle for the life of Jefferson County. And it will be imperative that we have all hands on deck. It has become clear to this announcer that Jefferson County is under attack and that the enemies of Jefferson County plan to destroy Jefferson County. It has also become clear to me that the enemies of Jefferson County, for a large part, are elected officials of Jefferson County. So we have a conundrum, a serious problem as to how we move forward. I'm pretty sure by now that those of you who read the paper or watch the local media to get your news, and I encourage you to please find a better way. The local electronic media is woefully inadequate in reporting the factual news. Now, they can get out one side or the other, but as a general rule, you're getting propaganda either way you go, and so you very rarely get any truth out of watching local electronic media. You probably do better listening to programs like this and other talk programs that are orientated toward our culture. Certainly listening to the dominant culture radio stations gives you a perverted view of the world. Certainly not something that is generated in your interest, or certainly not something that is designed to stimulate or further your interest. So, where you get your information is critical, and I would encourage you to find alternative sources. Certainly listen to Knowledge is Power, some of the other local black-owned talk radio programs. And I don't say that being biased or prejudiced. I'm just saying that the black-owned stations have a bit more freedom to give you the unfiltered and uncensored truth, particularly as it relates to your life and your well-being. The Birmingham News, on the other hand, is not to be trusted. I would certainly hope that they would find their way back to true journalism, because if we're going to be a free society, a free press is at the core of that endeavor. We don't have a free press in Birmingham. The entities that control the news there are part of the status quo, and just about everything they write or report is designed to protect that status quo. We are in a fight for the life of Jefferson County, and a lot of you say, "Well, why are we fighting for the life of Jefferson County?" Because we're here, and for the most part, we're stuck here. We are being victimized by our government. Well, let me back up off of that. Maybe it's not our government that's victimizing us. It is the individuals who have been selected to run our government that are victimizing us in this situation. And we have a very, 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 very serious situation here in the county of Jefferson. There are literally thousands, hundreds of thousands of people here who are working hard every day to build a future not only for themselves but for their family, for their posterity. And we have other forces that identify themselves and separate themselves, racially and ethnically, I guess, who, let me back up. I hope that all of you had an opportunity to read Dr. Huntley's article that was printed in the Birmingham News over the weekend, where he talked about the generational wealth builders and the role they're playing and the impact that they're having on the demise of Jefferson County. Now, for some time on this program, we have talked about, well, most of the time on this program, we talk about the problems with Jefferson County, the sewer, and beyond. But now, the situation is becoming extremely raw. The racism is becoming extremely raw. And for a lot of you who imagined that we had overcome, who imagined that racism was something in our history to be viewed and discussed at the Civil Rights Museum, this is a rude awakening for you to know that the practitioners of supremacy and dominance never went away. They might have suppressed their activities for a moment, but they never went away. And for our young people, and again, families, I urge you, bring the young folks to the radio so that they might hear, and if you would allow, participate in this conversation, because this is very, 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 very real. And I want all of you to take this time. You've got 2 hours before the president speaks at the convention. The Braves have already played and so forth. So let's take this time to have some serious grown folk discussion about what is going on in this county of Jefferson, because it is going to impact the future of Birmingham. I understand that Birmingham has several grandiose plans for issuing bonds to fix the neighborhoods and fix the roads and all kinds of things that you want to do to enhance life and living, to make Birmingham a more beautiful and desirable place. And that is wonderful. But you need to be aware that there is a cynical dark cloud just across the park that sees the world completely different. Last week, I referenced a comic book character for those of you who follow the Superman comics, and that character was Lex Luthor, the evil genius Lex Luthor. And that's pretty much what we're facing here in Jefferson County. We are facing evil running rampant. If you watched the news last night and you saw the expression on the face of the county commission president as he cavalierly dismissed your representative in his efforts to correctly address not only the county's financial difficulties, but the salvation and the continuation of the Mercy Hospital We have a very, very severe split in our community as it relates to how we perceive reality. And that's very dangerous. The people who are attending the meeting tonight to galvanize support for the Cooper Green Mercy Hospital, and I hope that there are at least 500 people there, because it's going to be it's just absolutely necessary that you attend, that you stand up. We have an opportunity to stand up, and you need to do so. But what you saw in the Jefferson County Commission meeting was raw, unadulterated racism. It was white supremacy believers pulling off the robe and showing their face. In the very near future, I would hope that all of you would embrace this concept and these ideas and call for a vote of no confidence in county leadership. The present or the existing president of the Jefferson County Commission has charted a clear course for the destruction of Jefferson County as we know it. Now, almost 2 years ago, an individual came to us with a warning. And that individual said to myself, Dr. Huntley, Commissioner Bowman, that these 3 new commissioners had a plan to destroy the county. It was a plan to destroy the elected officials. They ran for office to destroy the county. It was unbelievable. Surely you just these people simply have a different view. They don't want to destroy the county. But this Warner insisted that these people were coming to destroy the county. So now, nearly 2 years later, we look back, remembering the words of the Warner, and we're almost compelled to believe that this Warner was correct. We're approaching the break, but when I come back, I want to point out some actions and activities of the Jefferson County Commission over the last 2 years that have convinced me that the person who warned us that David Carrington and Joe Knight and Jimmy Stevens came to the courthouse with a plan to destroy Jefferson County appears to have been correct. We have seen nothing but disillusionment and destruction since day one, and we will point those out to you one by one when we come back after the break. But for right now, we're going to take a break. We hope to hear from some of the participants in the town hall meeting over in East Birmingham. We certainly hope that you will find it within yourself to choose to get involved, because we have an opportunity. You know, I had a young man not long ago question me as to why we couldn't be more like Atlanta. And one of the principal reasons why we can't be more like Atlanta is because you refuse to make the demands that the black community in Atlanta made. The black community in Atlanta said, we pay taxes, we are citizens, we are property owners, we are business owners, and all public money should be dealt with proportionately. If we are 60 to 70% of the population, then certainly we should do at least that amount of public business. We should be able to grow, benefit, and strengthen our businesses because of our ability to participate in public works. That's what the whole free enterprise system was designed to do. But now, in the last 40 years that we've been the dominant population in Jefferson County, we've never dominated in public works and public service. Just imagine what our communities could be like if half of the city budget and half of the county budget was spent with black businesses. Our unemployment numbers would be close to zero. Our school dropout numbers would also be close to zero. We would be an intelligent, progressive, prosperous community. That is what the citizens of Atlanta demanded, that you, because of your skin color, are not entitled to all public works projects and all public works dollars. Those dollars are used to enhance and to develop the community from which those dollars are originated. So let's wake up, people. Let's recognize that we were not born nor destined to be poor. But we must take control of our education, personally, and of the system, so that we become truly educated and productive citizens, so that we throw off the shackles and the residue of slavery, and we stand up as full citizens and demand that we have a government, not only in this city but in this county, that works for us. You're listening to Knowledge is Power. Tonight's Thursday night. I'm Richard Finley. I'm your host. I'm in with the great Curtis Bell. We're going to take a break, and we'll be right back.
My name is Ruth Rusi. I volunteer with United Way, reading to children to help prepare them for a better academic future. I don't just wear the shirt, I live it.
Give, advocate, volunteer. Live United. Go to liveunited.org. Brought to you by United Way and Ad Council.
To perform all of the tasks, these things you were endowed with. Now I give you these talents, and now you sit back wanting me to do the job? No. Honor me by using the things that you've been given to their maximum potential. We had a minister not too long ago who said, we in the black community love to praise Jesus, but very few of us want to follow him. Now, Knowledge is Power audience, it's time to get up and follow. Pick yourself up, show up down at the county courthouse. Let these boys know that the answer is hell no. We don't know what make you think you got the power to enslave and deny and destroy us in our community, but it ain't happening. By the power of our God, by the power of our faith, we will not allow it to happen. Now is the time to create a new day in this valley. We can get up and move forward and never have to look back if we seize this opportunity to praise Jesus, to praise God, to praise King, to praise Fred Shuttle, all those folk who stood up in faith and believed that we could do better. It's now on you. So you can, as soon as you finish listening to the president's speech, I hope you get so inspired that you want to deal with the monster that's in front of you. Don't worry about Washington right now. Let's get Jefferson County straight. We get that straight, then the world will come to us. You've been listening to Knowledge is Power. Tonight's Thursday night. I'm Richard Finley. I have certainly enjoyed being your host. And with the great Curtis Bell. Curtis?
Yes, sir.
We're going to wrap it up.
All right.
All right, Birmingham. We love you, and we'll see you in 7. Take care.
It's funny how time slips